All right. Hi. Hello, mabuhay. Welcome to GeekClicks. This is your host, Chris Lina. We're live here and we'd like to check if, salamat sa mga nanonood. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for keeping GeekClicks alive. And that's actually the purpose of this show, for us to share the geekery around, just to, I don't know, geek out as a team. I don't know if that you could consider it that way, but it's for us to, well, help each other out. Basically, it's a way for us to showcase talents, showcase anything basically that would, for the love of our fandom, whatever it is. We're collective, so walang puro Marvel lang, walang puro Justice League lang, or sorry, DC lang. We're here for one love, and that's just for us to geek out as a whole. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And if you're watching this live, please type in hashtag GeekClicks Live, and if you're gonna watch this on replay, hashtag GeekClicks Replay. Ayan. So thank you so much sa mga nanonood. But before that, meron akong pauso na gustong gawin talaga dito sa Geek Clicks. It's the support local. So every week we're gonna showcase businesses that may have suffered during the pandemic, but we like to help out just for awareness, really, for us to be aware of the businesses that have struggled and that are continuously coping, na bumabangon dahan-dahan. Simulan ko sa isang friend ko, which is a photography page, Kimo Rica Blanca Photography. So he has a promotion. I'm not sure if it's still ongoing, pero may discounted price ang headshots. So a headshot would be great actually for any business. A great headshot would give you a more credible look. So yan, meron siyang promo. So I think it's already at 3,800 na lang. Yeah. So take advantage of that. Ayun ako. Medyo masaya ako dahil nakuhanan niya ako last year. During the pandemic, nakasingit kami. Of course, social distancing is observed in his studio sa may bandang Taguig, basta along C5. It's easy to find, really. So yan, Kimo Rica Blanca Photography. And guys, if you want to feature your businesses, just let me know. I-message nyo lang sa page ng GeekClicks. We're gonna showcase them. Hashtag support local. I'm gonna post Kimo Rica Blanca's photography page here in the comment section. Yeah, so please like and share. Again, businesses, we're helping them out. Just a simple like, really. That would help out a lot. That would give out that would give them motivation. That would increase visibility, and who knows? They might help you out in some other way or form, right? So yan ang pauso natin ngayon. GeekClicks support local. Thank you so much for watching. And yan, di ko na patatagalin pa, but bago ang lahat, batiin ko lang ang comment natin ngayon from Diano Corns. Isa sa mga na-feature natin a few weeks ago, or last week, was it? Yeah, I think last week. Sorry, I don't have track of time. But Diano Corns, or the Dark Claw Customs. Yan, ang gaganda ng mga custom work niya. You should check it out. So check out Dark Claw Customs. Thank you so much for watching all the way from Negros Occidental. Or Oriental. Sorry, I get these confused. Forgive me, brother Corns. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Now, our episode is special, but before I introduce our guest, let me introduce the full march. Halfway na tayo. We're halfway there. And guys, tapos na tayo sa kay Nendo Boy, kay Diano Corns. That was last week. Oh, tama, last week nga. And Chester Minoro. Hindi naman secret kung sinong guest natin ngayon. Napaka-pogi at napaka-pogi ng collection palalo. Mr. Dio Ortigas. Today, tomorrow, we're gonna talk about shoutcasting. We're gonna talk about Tekken and e-sports with Ron Muyot. Also, Antonio Alcantara and Jason Tenko is gonna showcase their talents as toy photographers the following week, or the last week of March. So yon, nabanggit ko na. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, from the Batcave Files, Mr. Dio Ortigas.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for having me.
And thank you sa pagpapaunlak. Kumusta naman ngayong lockdown?
Okay naman. Lately, it's just been trying to keep the business still operating, since a lot of people have been very passionate with collecting despite the lockdown, because everybody just wants to improve the quality of life in their homes. So I guess it comes with the opportunity of just, making your living conditions better by still purchasing and buying collectibles and stuff.
Actually, no. And it really helps, really, in this pandemic. I'm not sure. Yeah. It really helps dahil, what do you call this? Ang saya ng meron ka pa ring joy in life, despite the trouble around, right? And yun, what keeps you busy at this time?
At this time, what keeps me busy is still managing the store. what's nice is despite the pandemic, no, we still get a lot of movies, and
Mhm.
we're very fortunate that even if we can't attend cinemas or we can't gather like we used to for
Mhm.
block screenings and stuff, we get streaming services now.
True,
So that's
actually.
a nice consolation, no. We still get to enjoy the fandom while being safe, which is good. And just the same lang, ganun lang rin eh. Parang what really fuels people to
Mhm.
buy these collectibles is actually having something to watch or something to give them a reason to buy.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful still that we still have a lot of different services and means
True.
to watch and just
So obviously,
mm,
kakapanood mo lang.
yeah, yeah, Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Right?
Mm.
So yun nga eh, di ba? And actually I've been browsing your collection. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yan maya-maya. And I don't know really. With the movies and the toys around you, I don't know really what to feel if ako nandun na nanonood with the toys around.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great one. And I see that you also are streaming games. Can you tell me more
Yeah.
about this? Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I feel like I was more of a gamer first before I was a
Mm.
collector because, especially when we were younger, we weren't given much besides our allowance. And
Uh,
I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate wanting to buy something from the toy store and asking your mom or asking your dad, could you buy me this? So when they look at the price tag, it's expensive. So
uh,
they tell you they
yep.
can't. Diba? Or, oh, I mean, for most of us, ganon.
Yep.
And so for me, games or video games was like the easiest thing to get into while you were young. Kasi most of the time, the prices of each game is my
Mm.
SRP. It doesn't really
Yeah.
go that high. There's a margin. Some are expensive,
True.
sure, but most likely every other game that comes out has the same
Mm.
price. So it was easier for me to
Mm.
actually keep on playing games because being as a kid, I wasn't
Mm.
really that serious into gaming. Like I couldn't
Okay.
comprehend that much. So I would play a
Okay.
game for more than a month. So that really kept me busy. And for me, I feel like it was later on as I grew up that I
Mm.
started having my passion shift a little bit to
Mm.
collecting, which was merchandise na toys and action
Uh,
figures and stuff like that. And after a while, since I've already established my business, I've started
mm.
taking collecting more seriously. I
Mm.
started going back to video games in general and just spent a lot of time playing
Mm.
games that I wanted to play. Because
Uh-huh.
I remember the last console I owned was the PlayStation 1 and the Dreamcast. And after that, there
Mm.
was like a big hiatus for me. And during that
Talaga? Okay.
time, when I was not
Okay.
gaming, I was basically collecting. And so
I
when I
see.
started back into gaming, which was when I got the PS4, it kind of rekindled my interest. And at the
Uh-huh.
same time, I was just really that much amazed of how much
Uh-huh.
technology has changed during that time. Because before, I remember if you
Yeah.
wanted to play multiplayer, you'd have to go to your friend's house, bring a
True. True.
controller, di
Totoo.
ba? And right
Wala.
now, we can basically play from your home and my home through,
True.
as long as we have good internet connection, we can play. And there's just so many more ways for us to interact with each other with all the
Yeah.
Discord and the voice comms and stuff. So
Actually.
it really gave me. It was like it gave my interest in gaming like a breath of fresh air. Because there's so many new things I wasn't accustomed to back then, and
Uh,
it piqued my interest a lot. So I started gaming, and so I wanted to try. I wanted to try
hmm.
streaming as well. I didn't really take it too seriously because
Uh,
I know those who stream and get paid for it are it's hard work. To be honest,
it is. It
people
is.
think
Yeah. Actually.
people think it's easy because naglalaro ka lang naman, alam mo 'yon. But
Uh,
it takes a specific talent.
Dedication eh.
Yeah, it takes a specific talent and a specific
Mm.
charm, no, for
Yeah.
people to actually keep on watching you. Because to be
Mm.
honest, I could be playing, let's say, I could be playing Batman Arkham Knight. But
Mm.
what really encourages somebody else to watch me play it if I'm not really doing anything spectacular, if I'm just playing normally,
True.
which is something that you can do on your own, diba? So I really applaud those who are streamers,
Mm.
in those who get paid to stream and those who
Mm.
understand the craft. Kasi it's not something that you can just get into. That's why one of like my
Yeah.
advice to people, I have a lot of friends who go into streaming thinking na
Uh,
parang I can make money out of this right
Oo
away.
nga eh.
Number one kong advice is play because you have fun and because you
Yan.
like to, because if you do that, you won't be that much what do you call this, what's the word, insecure if you don't have enough
Ah,
viewers, kung isa
true.
lang o dalawa lang.
Yeah. Kasi the purpose is
Matters
to have fun eh,
enjoy.
di ba?
Yeah, yeah. And I think as long as you enjoy and that radiates through your stream, people
Yeah.
see that you're genuine. That's when you start
Yes.
gaining followers. No? Yeah.
Yeah, and yun nga, it's a good start. And mali yung mindset eh, because it kills
Yeah.
the passion out of it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. Oh,
great
and you get
great
tired pag
advice.
ganun eh. It becomes a job.
Yes. There you
Diba?
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Oo nga, no, it becomes a job. That's great
Yeah,
advice
oh.
actually. So,
Mm-mm.
yeah, and guys, I posted the link sa sa if you want to watch Dio's stream rather. Ang saya lang din dahil at least you're not after the likes. You're just
Yeah, yeah.
streaming for the sake of
It's for fun lang
sharing.
talaga in
For
general. Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But basahin lang natin yung mga comments natin
All right.
from our friends Arnold Dolva. Uy, thank you so much Bagong Tabas. Yeah, that was last week pa. Negros Occidental pala si Diano Corn. So sorry. I get these confused. But thank you so much for watching. Uy, si Rafi Panganiban.
Yes,
Pa-fan
si
sign
Idol
daw kay Sir.
Rafi.
Idol to, kakapost niya ng low-key post kanina.
Yeah, si
Sumakit yung ulo
Rafi
ko.
actually talaga yung nakaka-inspire. Kasi mapapaano ka eh. Parang he does stuff that is he does toy photography, pero what's inspiring about Rafi, I'm not saying this kasi like
Kasi
binobola
friends
ko siya
kayo.
or what, pero what really encouraged me to go beyond just taking a photo of myself and the figure is yung thought and process of him composing a scene. And
Okay.
slightly, like when you look at it at first glance, you think, sa movie ba to? Pero parang iba.
Diba?
Alam mo yun?
Oo,
And then
yun nga
that's when you
eh.
start to realize, this is a figure. This isn't from the movie, pero for a split second there, I thought it was from the movie. Yung
Exactly,
moment
no?
ni Rafi mag-magic ng ganun talaga yung nakaka-inspire.
Totoo. And well, at the same time for others, it's inspiring and at the same time frustrating because paano ko ma-reach yung level na to, di ba? But for the most, it is inspiring.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it fuels the fandom in us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And Rafi deserves to be there where he is right now. Like I always keep on, like parang meron akong parang, I have this, I keep on bringing this up with my friends in a lot of different conversations. Like if somebody is like on a pedestal, it's because he worked hard to get there. Like, for example, ayoko rin naman na parang I've spent so many years trying to master a specific craft. And I have someone who just tries it in like a few weeks and does it. Alam mo yun, yung feeling na yun.
Yeah,
like,
I get your
parang
point.
Respect the process because that's very important. Respect the person's journey to get there. Because for me, more than reaching the top, yung journey na yun is the one that's more important kasi yun yung interesting talaga.
Exactly. And that's actually one of our mentors or friends from PTPC also mentioned. Most of the time, these people who are already on the top are the ones who are humble. Who are not the ones who seek attention. Attention seeks them, really.
Yes.
And Rafi, Perry Chua, Brian Gomez, these are people that follow them. Prince Draco, at least these toy photographers are, right? including including you.
Yeah.
People will go into your toy photography
All right.
then mamaya-maya,
Okay.
kasi we're excited to see that. And aside from that, Arnold Dolva, ganda ng Batcave and toy and gaming collection ni Sir Dio.
Thank
Mapapasana
you.
all ka na lang. Yan. One of our good photographers or great photographers here in PTPC then si Christian Cabrera
Yeah, si
from
Christian. Yeah.
Toys.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, and speaking of Peri Chua, thank you so much for watching. Sir Antonio Alcantara, yan, magigest natin siya next week.
Mhm.
Thank you for watching. Yan, eto na, naiingit na yung mga tao without even showing your collection at this point. Grabe yung collection. I saw his collection sa Pinoy Batman Collectors Group. Ah, yeah. Kasi nga,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
also a fan of the Dark Knight. Kaya Dark
Yeah,
Claw costumes sa
that's
kanya.
true.
Yan. Yan, nagbigay sa akin ng exclusive Steve and Tony Cos baby ko. Ayan
Yeah, I
na.
remember that. It was before the pandemic. Kasi sabi ko, like,
Mm.
we got this one Cos baby from,
Mm.
I'm not sure how rare it is, but it wasn't part
Ah.
of the actual lineup that was sold here in the Philippines. And I remember when we were in Hong Kong, we were there for our last day and we just said na parang we still had a few Hong Kong dollars and sayang naman if we're gonna what do you call this, convert it back to peso kasi may diminishing returns na yun eh.
Yeah.
So we just said like just pick up whatever you see, just spend the extra Hong Kong dollars on whatever is on the store. I remember picking that up and then taking a look at it and said, I'm gonna to parang flocked version. Because after a while, I was streamlining my stuff and I was checking through my inventory and I said, you know, somebody who is a Captain America fan or a Civil War fan would actually appreciate this more. So it just the first person that went through my mind is si Christian nga. So I
Nice.
told him na parang you can have it. And he said na parang is it free talaga? So I go, yeah, it's free. I mean, you deserve it naman. You're a Captain America fan and wouldn't really wanna, you know, just give it to anybody else.
And that's a good example of good way of sharing the fandom, really.
Yeah,
diba?
yeah.
Kasi may mga tao, I agree na may mga tao na papasok sa utak mo when you hear Batman, Batcave. I mean, you're the person at least, and a few more when it comes to Batman. And Superman, si Peri Chua. And ang galing ng mga ganung bagay eh, di ba? Na when we recognize the fandom of people, we acknowledge that and sometimes we support them, right?
Yes.
Ang saya. So guys, take this example, please, yan. Tulungan tayo dito. And actually, ganun din naman sa community natin eh. Let's not, kasi merong, mamaya, I'm gonna ask you something about the toxicity of the other side of collecting, mamaya. But
all right.
For now, uy, si Rafi Panganiban, kaya naman nagbablush ako, sabi niya.
Simp tayo lahat eh, for Rafi.
Totoo eh. Si Sir Alan Parma, di ko pwedeng pakita sa asawa ko collection ni Dio. Papagalitan ako, bakit ang kalat ng toy shelf ko?
Actually, can I share? There's this one.
Sure.
There's this one instance in the store. We usually have 2 staff, no, at the store. They're very synonymous already with the people from Green Hills. It's Linda, pati si Ayan. During that time, I remember I sent Linda to pay some bills. Tapos si Ayan was, I don't know if he was late or I sent him somewhere to get something. So basically it was just me at the store. And this happened in our display room. Because before the pandemic, we had like another store that handles the transactions and stuff. And then we had another store for like the showroom where people could walk in. And I remember I was back at the storage. I was fixing some stuff. And our main door has a chime. So whenever somebody goes in, you would hear it just to notify the person outside that someone went in. So I was fixing my stuff behind and I hear a woman's voice and a man's voice. And first impression is I could hear them arguing. But then I could see from the reflection of the shelf that the guy pulled the woman inside. And he was just very frustrated. That's how he sounded. And I thought they were going to fight. Like they had an argument. Maybe they fought outside. Tapos they saw this place is quiet. Maybe we can argue here. So deep down, I was like, please do not fight here. Kasi I'll be having a hard time bringing you guys out. And I hope you don't destroy anything. So anyway, the guy goes in. And to my surprise, the guy was actually trying to show the wife about how nice it is
Mhm.
if they would be able to build a shelf at home. Because from what I understood, the guy had
Ah.
all his stuff in boxes. So the wife was complaining that it was taking a lot of space.
Uh-huh.
She couldn't really appreciate the packaging because
Mhm.
it was just taking space. So
Mhm.
to my surprise, the guy brought his wife inside, and then the wife was amazed as well, saying na parang bakit hindi ganito yung nasa atin? But di ba tayo sa'yo na-call? So it's just it's
Yeah.
I think it happens often with spouses. I remember also there's this one time one guy was supposed to buy something and he already committed. He said, "Ate, sige patabi na lang, magwi-withdraw lang ako." And then the guy comes back after maybe 1 hour and apologizes to my staff, said, Ate, hindi ko na kukunin. Nagalit si Mrs. So what happens is, Linda, my staff calls me and tells me, sorry, boss, hindi na binili na nalaman ng asawa. So it's funny. At the same time, it's sayang, hindi sale. But at the same time,
Yeah.
nakakatawa. Diba? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And yun nga, I would agree. And if my girlfriend is watching right now,
Yeah.
I know that she will say the same thing.
Yeah.
Wala
Yeah.
kang space, ganun lagi.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually happens whenever I create or I make a toy purchase. Whenever
Mhm.
I order online, saan mo ilalagay yan?
Yeah.
That's always a question. And
Yeah.
sabi ni Alan Parma, FYI, hindi kami yung couple na yun yung nag-away.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good.
It's a very funny story.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Antonio Alcantara, very inspiring yung Batcave. Napakaganda ng setup.
Thank you.
Hindi rin ako yung nag-back out na yun, sabi ni Alan. Now, first question. I know we talked about a lot, but what is the story behind the Batcave files?
Okay. To be honest, like I remember before, what inspired me, and I've never shared this story to anybody, not even on my page.
Nice.
But I thought maybe this would be a nice like exclusive for your
Perfect. Thank you.
video. Growing up, as a family, we're a family of four. So it's my sister, me, my mom, and my dad. We lived in Green Hills, and we lived in our grandfather's home. So basically, this home it's really old. It's one of the I believe it's one of the second houses in Green Hills, and everything was just talahib lang. So anyway, our grandfather really was against my dad moving out. He wanted my dad to somewhat, avoid paying for bills. Basically, he wanted to give us an easier life. But given that opportunity, we had less rooms. So I remember it was only when I was 15, 16, 17,
Okay.
around that age, that I had my own room. We literally stayed in one room. My sister, me, my dad, my mom. So I never really understood that concept of sleepovers because I couldn't invite my friends to sleep over in my home because how would they sleep over? My mom and dad were in the
Exactly.
same room, diba? But I would be
Yeah.
jealous because some of my friends would, back in grade school would say na parang we slept over, we played games all night. I would experience that by me being the guest, but I would never be the one inviting people in. So I remember we had this one desk, and during this time I was already buying toys. So I remember we had one big basket of toys. That was where my stuff was. And I just hated the idea of just, digging through my stuff whenever I wanted to get
Oh.
something. So we had this desk that had space underneath for your legs to go in. No? I remember my mom would have to compromise on my decision to put the toys underneath. And I wouldn't just put the toys underneath just for the sake of transferring the location. I would put the toys underneath to display them. And my mom was like, "How am I supposed to sit down with all the stuff underneath?" Whenever she removed the stuff, I would put it back in. So that thing really stuck with me. That I felt like I just didn't want to play with my toys. I wanted more or less unconsciously when I was young, but I never really thought about this until I was older. I really wanted to be able to showcase what I had, not to brag, but
Yep.
just for me to know of what these things mean to me. What do you call this? the meaning and the reason of why I wanted to purchase these, not just to be able to play, but just to remind me, more or less why I'm very inspired with these characters. So when we started moving out, during I believe this was around 2011, my grandfather passed away. We had to sell the house, not for financial reasons, but because syempre, my dad had brothers and sisters, and they wanted makuha yung mana and stuff like that, which is very common. We moved out and finally got our own home. So the first home that I had was it was also a condo, relatively smaller than what I had now, but that was the first step for me to actually start building. That was my first experience. And I always look back to Japanese interior design because the Japanese are they make use of every space. So if you've been to Japan, you've been to any Airbnb. If you don't take the hotels, you take like yung mga maliliit na homes, you'd see that it's very small, but it has everything there. It has a bed, it has a kitchen, it has a bathroom, it has a small living room. Basically, they maximize all the space that is given to them. Hindi sila nagko-compromise na parang, I can't put this because it's too small. They'll find a way. So for me, that's one of the things that inspired me also to and gave me an idea of how to do my room. And the first condo that we moved into was not that big, no, but finally I was glad that I had a space of my own. So I was given the opportunity by my parents, like, you do whatever you want, just as long as it's within the rules of the establishment, and that was my first display. And
Nice.
I was pretty proud of that for a few years until I decided I could have done this a little bit better. Maybe I could have done this and did that. So after moving out of that condo for 4 years, we went back here to Green Hills, and then I understood what I wanted to do. Like, I wouldn't really consider it as a trial and error yung una kong space, because I was pretty proud of it. I didn't feel like there was any errors in that. It was just me not being as mature as I am now.
Okay.
And now that I have a bigger space, it started becoming more clear to me of how I really wanted to display my stuff. No, so that's when we had a brainstorm of ideas with my carpenter. I said, ito gagawin natin. Instead of like putting lights that are very visible to the eye, let's try to diffuse them so that it's not too glaring for the person to look at the items displayed. And we went through a lot of drafts because like this room specifically has a lot of windows during this side, and we were only restricted to this side of the wall where the shelf is. And at the same time, I wanted to create like a space wherein if you are coming from the outside, going through our living room, going to my room, which is this one, you would immediately feel like you've been transported somewhere else. Because the outside of this room is very Victorian era-ish. So it's very European, very very different, definitely, from this. And I remember whenever my parents have friends over, they would show the houses. They would show the rooms, no? But then they would enter here and they'd be blown away. It's like, where am I? Why? Like, is this still the same unit? But that was the goal. It was supposed to dissect you from this area and then immediately just, transport you into this new place and just have you observe all of the things that are different. And so, yeah, that's how this came to be. And the name Batcave Files 3 is because this is the third one. The second one being the first condo, and the first one being like the very, very young me in like underneath that table. That was my cave during that time. I consider that like a tiny cave. So that's the story behind it.
I see.
The name in general, Files, is because I have always felt like I'll be taking photos. That was the easiest way for me to share what I had to people. without them going here if they don't have the opportunity to go here.
Mhm.
And I always felt like these are like secret classified files inside the bat computer. So that's basically the idea.
Nice.
Mm.
Okay. Ang ganda, ah. I mean, it's as if you're ano tawag doon, nagkakatalog ka ng items mo in your
Yeah, exactly.
collection.
Parang
Ang ganda eh.
it's like data that's like
Yeah.
for research. Parang ganon yung dating.
Ang ganda, ang ganda. I love the concept.
Mm.
And marami nang naiinggit dito and na-inspire at the same time. I would
Yeah.
say, ang ganda ng collection, ang ganda ng display.
Mm.
And I like what you mentioned about having them showcased, not to brag, but just
Yeah.
for you to highlight the beauty of the collection, really.
Yes, yes.
And you're not from what I hear, hindi ka madamot sa collection mo. I mean, for people to
Mhm.
see or admire your collection.
Yes, yes.
Kasi you're sharing the photos, you're
Yes.
sharing these. And kung makikita mo sa caption, if I were to look at it, presentation is everything. So it's just,
Yeah,
it's not
for me,
really,
presentation is everything.
diba? So it's not right, look at my collection. It's not like that. Diba? It's more on just presenting the collection.
Yes.
And ito yung bida, hindi yung nangongolekta. And
Yes,
this is,
yes.
I feel na, I just feel the love in this case.
Yes.
Ng collection eh. So guys, if you want to get inspired more about this, well actually ang ganda ng mga Pinoy ni Dio na you get inspired by the Japanese interior, and actually I agree na ang ganda, no? I mean, just in konting ano mo lang, meron kang cabinet that would fall down that has a function space and such, di ba?
That's right.
Joyce Mancho, sana all talaga yung display pang museum. And I guess that's the purpose, di ba?
Yeah. Actually, it's very easy to achieve a museum look.
Okay.
Kasi like a lot of people think you need to spend to have a museum esque display. When to be honest, what you really need to just factor in is the space. Like if you have a lot of figures, for me, the number one tip that I would give you is provide space in between. Kasi parang yan parang like if you go to Madame Tussauds, which is yung wax, life-size wax replicas of very different personalities and stuff. They never put like, for example, let's say Prince Charles beside Diana na magkadikit, no?
Yeah.
They would always provide space because by giving space, they allow the person to focus on a specific item before moving on the next one. So it really helps to provide a bit of space in between. And I think that's what people are having misconceptions with, is because if kailangan mo mag-display ng parang museum, kailangan mo gumastos. When, to be honest, you can buy a Detolf, which is easy home-built shelf, and have maybe 1 or 2 pieces per shelf, and it would look like a museum na rin as well.
Nice. Very great tips. So sa mga naghahangad, it's easy. And here's a question from Christian that's very, very well thought of. What if you move again? Or did you ever think that, what if we move again and your Batcave is already set where it's in right now?
Yeah, that was actually that thing that that actually comes to mind a lot, because syempre parang as we grow older, we might move out, have a different place. I guess for me, it's more of picking up what I've learned here and implementing the experience and just trying to push beyond what I thought I could do. So it is a little bit frightening to think na you're gonna start from scratch again.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's also exciting because now that a few years have passed and you've probably been inspired by a lot of different things again. Like, for example, I've been here for about 3 years. And even if I'm pretty satisfied with what we've done here, there are times when I said that, you know what, maybe I could have added more stuff if I move this here, if the
Mhm.
couch was here. So it's an evolving process. Eh. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure a lot of people who have display cases at home, may it be Detolfs or just a simple shelf, no, there would be times when you would just sit in your chair, be
Mhm.
satisfied one day, and then the next day reshuffle stuff again, because it's a process that evolves. Eh. Alam mo yun, you feel
True.
like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
good enough until you see someone else's collection. You feel like, oh, this
Uh,
combination looks better. Let me mix it up a little bit. So the idea of moving out is frightening, yes, because
yep.
it takes a lot of time and it's not done overnight. And there is a lot of trial and error into fabricating a custom shelf, because not everything that comes to mind will automatically work right away. I remember when we were building this, we went through a lot of problems with the lighting,
Mhm.
with the circuits, with the leveling
Okay.
of the shelf. So yung end product, for people who haven't been in the process, feels like
Mhm.
madali lang. Pero for us, and like the people who worked with
I
me here,
see.
yung mga carpenters and electricians,
Mhm.
it was more of a 1 year thing talaga. It
I
took
see.
that long for us to finish.
Uh,
And I'm not saying this to discourage people from
uh,
wanting to create their own shelf, but respect the process, because
yep.
ano yan talaga eh, parang it wouldn't mean as much to you in the end if it was
Yan.
easy. Nothing easy is worth bragging about rin naman, eh, 'di ba?
Exactly. Yan.
Mm.
And yun nga, yun nga, yung appreciation of the final end product would not
Yes,
be as big, di ba?
yeah,
And
yeah, true,
sabi nga
true.
ni ang ganda rin ng ng sinabi ni Perry Chua. Pag nag-move ka
Mm,
daw, pwede ng
mm.
satellite Batcave uli.
Yeah, oo, parang ano, puwedeng
Di
parang
ba?
bunker na lang 'to, 'di ba? Parang
Oh,
gano'n.
why not, di ba? And
Oo,
I feel that happens to, if I may put a comment lang dun,
mm.
I feel that happens to most moms
Yeah,
na
yeah, yeah.
nagre-rearrange ng furniture. I guess
Yeah,
it kind of
oo.
is the same thing, di ba?
That
And
happens to my mom a lot. Like, siguro like one day makita mo yung vase nandito, then tomorrow wala na. Alam
di
mo yun?
ba?
Oo,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, para lang makarelate pa ang ilan nating viewers na it kind of is the same thing, di ba? Na you're
True, true. Yeah,
satisfied, but
it is,
sometimes
it is.
things that you
Mm.
could have done na may mga ganun pumapasok.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
from that, you evolve, you learn a lot,
Yes,
you
that's true.
actually improve on what you already know.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
Hindi naman nagsisimula ng great ang mga great people, eh, di ba?
Yeah, oo. Tsaka maganda rin yung evolution, kasi at least may gagawin ka pa after, 'di ba? Hindi na
Nice.
like hindi ka tapos na parang, "Oh, okay na." What do you do after, 'di ba? Parang
Oo nga
sure
eh,
you
no?
can put your collection in, you get to observe and just be, that you get to bask in your stuff. Pero
Ah,
it's not as exciting if you can't, learn new things along the way. So
ah,
I appreciate that, even though that you have your shelf,
aha.
those moments that pop into your head, that I want to move this, I want to change this, I
Mm.
want to switch this up. That's actually one of the fun things about collecting, is it's never really done. Eh. And
It's
I'm
never
saying
really
that
done.
in a sense that, not just financially, but like the experience in itself, having to put stuff inside, moving things around, doing
True.
different poses, it really gives that hobby that longevity it needs, for you to keep on
There
doing
you
that.
go.
Mm.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And may nakahabol, si Jordan Sabado. Thank you so much.
Mm.
Buti nakahabol siya. Nakafocus yung mata ko sa PS5 sa likod. Ako rin,
Yeah.
actually. Thank you so much. Now, do you have your old toys daw? Sabi ni Horns.
By that meaning, like I have my own custom stuff.
Like, I think he may be referring to the ones that you were placing on the shelf sa ilalim. Yung unang-unang Batcave mo dati.
Oh, do I still have them?
Yeah.
Is he asking?
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, I don't have them anymore. The
Mhm.
only thing I remember having is my Batman 1989 VHS tape. It's still with me, and I remember I watched that VHS to death. And funny story, because during that time, and I believe
Mm.
even for kids now during this generation, want to still buy the pajamas of like their superheroes now. And I would always wear the same pajamas, and my mom would have a hard time asking me to change and wear regular clothes. And I would stink in them already because I've been wearing them for a week. So my mom would like, you know what? I'll just buy you a set for 7 days. So you can just, you can keep your hygiene, but at the same time, you can wear what you want to wear. So,
Exactly.
yeah, the VHS is still with me, and a
Nice.
couple of things, maybe photos of me
Hmm.
wearing the Batman 1989 shirt. And wala
Nice.
pa ako nun yung, kasi technically naman Keaton's attire didn't have any briefs eh. So I only had the shirt, but I would wear my white undies lang para lang ma-replicate. So ayun.
Ang galing. Sir Rafi Panganiban is asking for a live room tour. I'm not sure if that is possible kung mamumove natin yung
Yeah, yeah.
and probably next time siguro
Next time,
we'll
yeah.
ask
Pag
for
sa
a
phone,
video
yeah.
na lang that we can post probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Sandra Ortigas, my brother is a better interior designer
That's
than
my
me. Proud
sister. Yeah.
ate. Nice. Thank you so much for watching. And actually, that takes skill and passion, di ba?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes, naniniwala kasi ako na lahat ng pag-aaralan eh. And
Yeah.
I felt your passion nung sa pagbuo eh. As I was hearing you tell the story about how you did the whole Batcave or how you planned it out, how you put the effort into it. I feel na talagang inaral mo eh, from the
Yes,
lighting, the
yes.
wiring, and
Mhm.
the design. Ang
Mhm.
galing.
Yeah.
So guys, again, I hope you're learning a lot here when it comes to not just collecting, just making sure that your collection gets what do you call this? Gets the highlight that they need. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yan. Sabi ni Jordan Sabado, I feel what Sir Dio is saying, it's not easy to build something like the display case, custom shelves. You really need to put huge work and
Yes.
patience. Na-try ko rin, sumuko ako.
Yes.
And has there been a time na almost susuko ka na?
Yeah, well, actually, it's very frustrating if you have this sketch in your mind, a specific design that you want to implement. Like how I said, on paper it's very easy. It looks like everything will just fall into place. But once you start doing it in person, that's when you realize na parang okay, I could use this specific lighting, but then tatama siya dito, or hindi compatible yung pag-splice natin ng electrical dito. It's really, the process is really, I wouldn't really go as far as to say it's difficult, because it is possible with perseverance, no? But you will encounter a lot of speed bumps, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. Everybody goes through that. Even the most licensed interior designers and engineers, they would still encounter some stuff. What's important is for you to find a way around it, no? And that's what I always also tell people, because I've had a lot of people ask me for a layout, no? They want like a handout of the design of the room.
Okay.
And I would always say that everything you need to know is you can find it in the internet. How to like specific lighting, ganyan. I always tell them, it's not that I don't want to help you, but I want you to live. I want you to be able to create something that you can be proud of, something that you did on your own. It's okay to be inspired, get ideas. Though, like my display here, it's not all my ideas. I've researched, and I've also taken inspiration. So this is not all original, but as a finished product, I'm proud to say I left my fingerprints on it. So that's what I'm trying to tell these people who ask me, like, can I have the specific height? Can you give me the shelf depth? I said every room is different, not unless you have the specific square meters that my room has, na exacto and the same layout as my windows. It's not gonna work. I could give you the exact measurements, but it wouldn't serve its purpose as well if your room space and the dimensions of your area is different from mine. So what I keep on telling them, I can give you a general idea, but you need to put in the effort to create something of your own. Kasi that's what it is in the end, to be able to show something that you created, but not really original, but something that you spent your hard time on, no? So get involved in the process because it
Yeah.
pays off in the end to be able to say that you did this. Kasi ayaw mo naman sabihin na pag may nagtanong sa'yo, "Ang galing, ganda ng ano mo. Saan mo nakuha yung idea? Ginaya ko lang." Di ba? I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
the story ends there.
Yeah.
You want to have that rich backstory to how you did it. That gives
Exactly.
people something to admire about you, and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it gives them. It also inspires them. Na it's
Mm-hmm.
doable. No? It's not. It's
True.
not.
Yeah.
Hindi siya parang you need
Mm.
to copy something. You can definitely create something and be proud of it at the end of the day.
Ang saya. And yan nga, marami ka na na-inspire. Even, yan, si Jordan Sabado, nag-comment din siya about your thoughts on things. And I like what you mentioned about, echo ko lang,
Yeah.
about personalizing, putting your fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about this as a magician, because
Mhm.
anyone can produce a coin from their ear. But how do
Yeah.
you do that with
Mhm.
flair or kung ano man,
Yeah.
or do you do it often? The point is, I can really relate as an artist, as a magician, and
Mhm.
that's actually it's been done technically
Mhm.
yung ginawa mo, di ba?
Yeah.
It's been done before, but has it been done by me, or has it does it have that flavor that Dio
Mhm.
Ortigas had
Mm.
put on
Mm.
it, di ba?
Mm.
So, ang ganda, promise. I agree with you, Sir Dio. Sabi ni Diano Corns. Yung backstory ko sa future Batcave ko is, napanood ko kasi itong episode na to sa Geek.
That's a very viable reason still.
It is, actually, di
Yeah.
ba? And that's actually, I mean, you're pouring out wisdom at this point, really, sa lahat ng collectors.
Yeah.
And really just putting in the effort into this, and kita naman eh. You're proud of this because you put in the effort, the hard work,
Yes.
the research in
Mhm.
this, and having the end goal in mind, really.
Yeah. Oo.
Diba? So,
Yeah.
ang ganda ng pag-maximize mo ng space. I'm really amazed.
Yeah.
Nakikita ko yung sinabi mo about the Japanese the
Oo.
Japanese influence here.
Yeah, oo.
Bawat shelf eh.
Talagang ano kasi ako, I'm very keen to Japanese culture in general.
True.
So parang that's one thing I noticed with they're very conservative sa space,
Mhm.
but at the same time that doesn't mean that they try not
Yeah.
to put as many things, as many amenities for them. Parang they find a
Uh-huh.
way. Basta nasa ano lang yan eh, parang nasa the way I think of it is if you have a box and if you
Uh-huh.
try to just throw stuff in, you'd be able to actually put less stuff as instead of like trying to fit things,
Uh-huh.
put things in place, you'd be able to put more things instead of throwing things lang. Eventually, if you start pulling out the stuff, you realize you've actually not been able to maximize yung area. So it really takes time, no, to
It does.
think about how you want to do it.
Ang ganda. And
Mhm.
may science term about that
Mhm.
eh. It's
Mm.
spatial recognition. How
Yeah.
you are and how you manage the space that's given to you or that's in front of you.
Mm. Mhm.
And that's something that's a talent, really. And I really I'm just at awe right now in what I see. I am sure that our friends are as well, that are
Mhm.
watching. Sabi ni Arnold, yup, form follows
That's
function,
true,
and I
that's true.
agree
Mm.
that every space and layout is different.
Mhm.
Yeah, kasi ang hirap nun eh, di ba? Bibigyan mo ng tips. Probably
Mhm.
general tips, and baka magalit pa dahil sobrang general naman to. I'm asking for
Yeah,
specific.
true, true.
What they don't understand is, yun nga eh, but what you already pointed out. I hope na mas ma-translate ito into our audience members, because
Mhm.
at least spoken na to, dahil minsan pag written to or pag chat to, nami-misinterpret eh, di ba?
Yes,
Mas
yes,
being pa,
oo.
ano ka, what do you call this? Suplado, ganyan,
Yeah.
madamot.
Mm.
But this time, I know that it translates it well, because
Mhm.
nabanggit mo siya with the purest of intentions. And
Yes, yes,
thank you for that. Let me ask you one more thing.
Go ahead.
What was your last toy purchase? Just for the sake of asking.
The last toy purchase I
Yeah.
had, that's for my personal stuff is
Yes.
yung I believe it was yung Harvey Dent Two-Face, yung 2.0. Because
Oh.
like for the longest time, like for people who are into hot toys and who
Mhm.
specifically collect the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan, everything was redone. Joker was redone. The bank robber Joker was redone. Basically, the 2.0 versions are mechanically and just engineered to be brought out to the market with
Mhm.
technologies that are available now. So the first Joker, Heath Ledger Joker back in 2008, I
Mhm.
believe, is going to have better paint applications, better head sculpt, better tailoring for the 2012 version. So
Ah,
everything was done except
yep.
for Aaron Eckhart's Two Face. It has been so long that we were stuck with the first version back in 2008. Na you can tell this specific figure has been left behind compared to the newer ones,
Mm,
and especially since the Dark Knight trilogy is finished,
mm,
Nolan has concluded his story. There wasn't really any hope for like 2.0 version of that, and nobody really expected. But then Hot Toys brought it out. They made him an exclusive, better tailoring, better suit, better likeness, and
mm.
that was my most recent purchase that I can remember, because I'm already at the
You
point
can remember.
where I have to make sure what I put in my display counts, because unlike before, I had a lot of
Ah,
space. So like
okay.
technically, if I'm trying to maintain a DC shelf, I had so much room left
Mhm,
that I decided to put in a few different stuff, a few Marvel, a
mhm.
few different icons. But since the DCEU right now has been pumping out different characters, I'm slowly getting rid of characters that aren't part of
Mm,
my theme, which is DC, and started to focus more on stuff, on figures that built on the image of my shelf. So,
nice.
for example, now we're having Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. We're
Mhm.
having possibly Cyborg because of the Snyder cut.
Yep.
I'm slowly
Mhm.
getting rid of other stuff that isn't relevant anymore to my shelf. But at the
Okay.
moment, since there isn't really that much DC stuff, no,
Yeah.
I haven't really bought. I am not buying as much as basically putting or displaying stuff as
Mhm.
I would like, no, because I'm trying
Okay.
to more or less make the new inclusions count.
Ah, so would they be for sale in the future? I mean, the
Uh,
ones that are you're letting go.
The ones that I'm letting go automatically be
Mm.
brought to the shop. So
Okay.
we also need credibility in our storefront to have a display there. So
Okay.
most of the stuff that gets removed here ends up there.
Mhm.
Sometimes if it's a figure that's in demand, we sell it definitely. But
Mm.
if it's something that we want to keep because it keeps people going in, not to check, we keep it there for a while. Like there are times I
I see.
remember I've told myself this many times, like it's so difficult to get a Heath Ledger Joker, yung Joker DX11. Very,
Mhm.
very difficult and very, very expensive. And whenever I was able to get an extra one, besides the one I have at home, to display in
Mhm.
the store, I would always tell my staff, I would tell Linda, taasan mo presyo niyan. Kasi ayoko
Okay.
magmukhang hindi tayo nagbebenta. Pero taasan mo para hindi nila bilhin. And then she would call me at the end of the day, sir, bibilin pa rin kahit mahal eh. So ako parang, okay, sige, benta mo na. But then after that, you have that, not really buyer's remorse, pero I guess seller's remorse, if there's such a
Seller's
thing.
remorse.
Oo, na parang,
Hindi ko
oo
binili.
nga, nandito yung pera, bilhin tayo sa pan-Joker, parang kulang eh, pag wala siya dun. So, we end up, we were always,
Mm.
there's a tug of war between wanting to have something nice in display, but at
Mhm.
the same time, being able to provide the figure to
I see.
somebody who wants it.
Ah,
So, kasi para sa amin, we're a store, yes, but we value the opportunity to be able to showcase these works of art. So
nice.
it's like parang nawalan ka ng painting sa wall, parang ano gagawin
Oh,
natin sa
yun nga
space
eh.
na 'to, 'di ba? Parang lagyan
I
natin ng
see.
something, pero you
Get
can't
your point.
just put whichever painting, it
Eh,
has to
oo nga
fit
eh.
the genre, 'di ba? So,
True.
nawalan ng Joker, and Joker's very iconic villain to Batman. So it feels like even though we did a good sale, we feel like we have a gaping hole in our display in our showcase, no? So it really matters to us also our display at the store. We try as much as possible to get more than one so that we can retain one display item and then still be able to provide.
Nice. Well, at least you're getting you already have the hang of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now next question is, does that mean that your favorite toy line is Hot Toys?
For licensed, yes. I
Okay.
really, because I think down to my core, I'm very OC, but not
Mhm.
OC in a sense na parang it's detrimental to me because I don't want people
Okay.
to think na parang OC, you're parang romanticizing OC. It's a real condition. I admit it is a real condition, but I guess my
Mm.
certain type of OC is being not being able to collect the same thing or the same brand because I feel like I'm so accustomed to a specific way merchandise is made, and I appreciate all the effort and the time spent into making it, and I just want to replicate
Mm.
that process through
Ah.
other stuff. So it's like parang if you're so used to a specific car brand, like let's say
True.
Toyota,
Yep.
you feel like yung unang kotse mong Toyota that had all the bells and whistles and did all the check boxes, you feel like kung galing ka sa sedan and you want a pickup, automatically you check the brochure for a
Yep.
Toyota pickup. 'Di ba? Parang you
Yeah, yeah,
don't
yeah.
jump into a Montero just because
Exactly.
parang it's more advertised.
True.
Stay within the you stay within the same brand because
Brand.
it
Mhm.
delivered for you the first time. So you feel like it will deliver again
Tiwala na
for
eh, no?
yeah. So for me, it's kind of like that. It's like I'm very proud and very satisfied with how Hot Toys does their figures, and I feel like if they're gonna make, if I'm going to dive into this, I might as
Mhm.
well, trust the same company in delivering
Mhm.
and giving me my money's worth with other characters. No?
And actually, in line with that, but do you still, at any point,
Mhm.
buy unlicensed stuff?
Well,
Like,
for me,
Mhm.
unlicensed stuff lately have been doing great things. Like
Yeah.
definitely I'm seeing like what Christian is saying, yung Nightwing,
Mhm.
yung Titans version from the TV show. It's actually
Yep.
really good, and I can say that it also required talent and to be for
Mhm.
this company to be able to bring it out. But at the same time, I feel like I want to support those who actually pay
Ah,
royalties to the actual brand.
okay.
So I know this is a very sensitive subject because I don't wanna like
Yeah.
I've grown to understand that
Mhm.
whatever you want to spend your money in is up to you.
Yeah,
Regardless if you
exactly.
want to buy a pirated DVD, I as much as I preach to watch it in the cinema or buy the Blu-ray so you can
Mhm.
support the people behind it and so that you can have
Mhm.
more content, more consumable content that you like. Um I'd rather wait or not
Mhm.
buy a figure at all if it's not licensed. It's because
Okay.
I also want to give opportunity to other companies who want to get royalties and at the same time gain support so that they can continue making those figures
Ah,
under legal terms, no? Parang ganon.
perfect.
But I'm not gonna lie, I admire the third party ones
Mhm.
kasi it's like before they make figures
Crappy.
from
Yeah.
other companies that never touch the character. Now you
Mhm.
get to see something that's very tangible. You get to see, this is
Yeah.
what it would look like, no? So I appreciate
True.
that still. It's just me for preference lang.
Yep.
Since I know what it's like to work for something hard
Mhm.
and
Nice.
being recognized for something that you actually did with your talent, I feel like
Mhm.
these people from Hot Toys or people who go through the legal process of acquiring the licenses for these
Perfect.
characters, they deserve all the support and the financial backing to creating this stuff para rin ma-support
Mhm.
yung talent nila pa. Parang I don't want to rip them
Nice.
off. Parang ganon.
Gets.
Pero like what I said, it's a very sensitive topic and
It
I don't
is, it is, yeah.
wanna it's like walking through eggshells. Eh. Kailangan maingat ka sa ganyan. Pero
Totoo,
I
totoo.
respect if you want to spend your money elsewhere.
Yeah,
It's your money. You work hard for it.
true.
I'm
But
in no
your
position
preference
to
is, yeah.
yeah to tell you where you should put your money. Pero just for me,
Mhm.
my opinion, I feel like if there's a figure that I want and Hot
Mhm.
Toys or a licensed company is not doing it,
Mhm.
and another company who is not licensed but somehow has the means and the
Means, yeah.
talent to create something, parang I'd rather just appreciate it from other people's collection and have my
I see.
money reserved na lang, parang ganun.
Okay. Ayun nga. So, that's a very good way of putting it. Ang galing. Very strategized. Ang
Mm.
ganda ng sagot. And this is coming from a Hot Toys photographer, Christian
Mm.
Cabrera.
Yes,
Or
yes.
sorry, Cos Baby photographer
Cause baby hot
Magkaiba daw
toys.
yun. Abi nila. But anyway, thank you for that. Last thing, let's talk
Mhm.
about S2 Toys and Collectibles. Tell us the story behind this, please.
Okay, S2 Toys and Collectibles. How it began, to be honest, is
Mm.
in this business that I have. This is actually a joint venture business. Originally, the name S2 was supposed to be Sideshow Toys and Collectibles, but unfortunately, we cannot retain that name knowing that Sideshow is a brand from the US and also sells the same products. So there's a misconception there, and by law, that's not allowed. No, it's like Wilkins, no, water. I can't start selling Wilkins Ren na tubig with the same name, but I can create something that's named Wilkins and sell burgers because they're two different things. Eh. But since our name was Sideshow, and then in America, the ones that are basically official distributors and the home base of like premium format statues is also called Sideshow. By law, we are not allowed to do that. So when I started stepping in with my partner, we started to rebrand somewhat. So the idea was number one, get rid of Sideshow because it's not allowed. So, but at the same time, we didn't want to deviate that much into changing the name. We wanted it to somewhat be reminiscent of what people knew of us, but at the same time, be able to rebrand and have people just understand that this is the same sideshow, but just something that is slightly changing moving forward. So the idea behind S2 was it is an S that goes around, which is the number two also looks like an S. So we're retaining the SS or sideshow, but without really being very open about it, saying we are a sideshow. So we just ended up using the S2. People call it a lot of things. Some people call it S2, some people call it SS. We had a person called SZ. It doesn't look like a Z, but you know, we just changed it. We
Mhm.
we didn't as long as it doesn't remain sideshow. So once I started joining with my partner, we started to rebrand, and our goal was really very simple. What we wanted was to be able to show people the um the opportunities on how you can display these things. Like I remember
Nice.
before when we had people working on our display, of course the contractors and the carpenters would ask you would need a general idea of how you want to have your shelves built, and once you give them the gist of what you want, they think that all you need is a simple shelf, yung parang
Mhm.
bookshelf lang. That's their idea of toy shelf. That's how far as how they can comprehend. But
Mhm.
then I would end up telling them, no, I want it to be done this way.
Mhm.
And then I remember this one contractor told me, what you're asking me to build is actually not a toy shelf. What you're asking me to build is a showcase that is
Mhm.
very common in what do you call this? In showrooms and stuff like that. And
Ah.
I was saying that's the idea. And I keep going back to this analogy how um 'di ba when you go to IKEA, to MC Home Depot, all those hardware places, 'di ba
Mhm.
napansin mo hindi sapat na maglagay sila ng dining table na table lang. They try to
Yes.
emulate a dining area. Kahit may fake
Yes.
window pa yan,
Yep.
may fake fruits, because they
Mhm.
want to encourage people that walk in to be inspired, to more or less have an idea before they purchase na okay, I can buy this table and more or less have
Mhm.
an idea before I actually bring it home. How am I supposed to put it at home? 'Di ba yung mga toilet doon, hindi naman yan binibenta na, o yan, toilet lang. 'Di
Oo
ba
nga,
parang
eh.
may banyo yan na backdrop, parang
Yes,
ganon.
may
So, the
tiles pa.
reason behind it, so I was saying, yun nga yung effect that we want. We want you to enter our store, not thinking it's a store, but thinking it's like a showcase para
Mhm.
ma masuportahan yung purchase mo by hindi ka lang nakabili, paglabas mo may ideas ka pa, 'di
Yan,
ba? So, naging na-prolong tuloy yung hobby mo by hindi pa tapos na nakabili ka. Hindi it's not enough na you bought
meron
the
ka.
item, you bring it home, okay na, parang nasa
Yeah.
akin na. Hindi. Yung goal was to bring it home, do something for yourself. If your budget allows, if your space allows, give these figures a showcase, no, so
Mhm.
that you can be able to display them and just give them more worth than how much you paid for them. Kasi like I always say uh, we all can buy the same stuff. Um that doesn't really differentiate us from other people. As long as may 5,000 si ganyan, may 5,000, we can all buy the same things. Wala na tayong pagmamalaki, to be honest eh. Like if we share on Facebook, oh look, I have a Batman. Eh ako rin, may Batman rin ako eh. What really separates us and gives us identity is how we display them at home. And I think that's very important. And by how you display it, I'm not saying na kailangan mahal yung display mo, but
Mhm.
yung passion mo lang on how you want to
There you
showcase
go.
it can be in a simple shelf. It doesn't matter. It can be on top of your TV, on top of your
Mhm.
table, your desk. As long as your passion is there, you're able to um, just express that aura to other people and ma-appreciate nila yon. Kasi to be honest, I've been impressed with people who simply have like a few figures at home, apat lang. I
Mhm.
remember, I keep on forgetting his name, but I remember there's this one student. He's one of my Facebook friends. He's still studying. I believe he is nursing.
Mhm.
And meron siyang desk, has a computer, very standard basic stuff. But he has the four most important characters of the MCU. He has Hulk, he has
Mhm.
Thor, he has Captain America, he has Iron Man. And nafe-feel ko talagang since student siya, he can't spend as much, so he needs to
Mhm.
limit. But he made sure what he bought really resonated with him. And yun naman talaga yung, well, there's more Avengers, pero kumbaga big four yun eh.
Yeah.
And how he
Mm.
displayed it, it's very simple, but it says a lot about him. And like what I was saying, it doesn't need to be extravagant as long as your
Mhm.
passion is very as long as it oozes through your
Mm.
aura, people will appreciate that, and that's enough, to be honest.
Nice. Well said, well said. I feel your passion and I feel na hindi ka nagbebenta sa totoo lang. I mean,
Yeah.
hindi ka seller. You're more of a
Mm.
collector first and then
Yes,
just
yes.
showcasing. Ang ganda nun eh. You're showcasing the end game or possibilities
Yes, yes.
not limited to what
Mm.
they're purchasing, di ba?
Yes.
Not limited to that possibility, but it is a possibility nonetheless. Na you
Mm,
can
mm.
be, it is good, but it can be great. Ang ganda
Yes, yes.
nun.
It can be better talaga.
Can be better, yes, actually. Ang galing, sobrang galing. Sabi ni Marites, sent
It's my
Dio's
mom.
Batman Youth photo in GeekClicks
That's
FB. Uy,
probably
sige, we'll probably check it
that's
out.
probably the photo I was telling you about, the one with the
Ito na yung
underpants.
ano, is that your mother, ba? Si
Yeah,
Miss
yeah, my
Marites?
mom. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much po for watching. Nakikita natin yung passion dito.
Mm.
Sige, I'll look it up while we're looking it up. Can you answer this question for us?
Yes, go ahead.
What is the holy grail and the most expensive item in your collection?
I get asked this a lot. I remember through all my interviews that question never really left. For some reason, a lot of people wanted to know that.
Siyempre.
Um, one of the it's very difficult for me to consider one a holy grail because, like I said, like one figure complements the crew, everyone.
Okay.
Like you can have basically everything from the Avengers, but if you don't have Iron Man, it's not complete. Or
Oh,
if you have
okay.
Iron Man, you don't have Hulk, it's not complete. But for the sake of having an answer, if
Mhm.
I were to just choose one, that let's say like given the situation that I only needed one, I can't put anything else. For a figure, it would probably be the the Christian Bale Batman, the DX12.
Mhm.
Yeah, DX12. Yeah, so it would probably be the DX12 because I remember specifically Christopher Nolan's Batman was what really brought the character into a different perspective. Because like yeah, we've had Tim Burton's Batman was very dark, and
Mm,
then we had George Clooney's Batman, Val Kilmer's Batman,
mhm,
but not only until Christopher Nolan did the Dark Knight trilogy that directors found out that this is very, very profitable, and we can actually put a lot of layers
mm,
into our characters for them to actually have better motivation and more depth to them. And people can say that's not true, but for me, that's what I believe, is that
mm,
after Since the Dark Knight, it set a bar where other studios or other characters that are being brought to the screen are always considered to have multiple layers, so that not only can they be relatable to an extent,
mm,
but have more meaning and more justification to why it is they're doing what they're doing. No, so for me,
mm.
the Christian Bale Batman is very
Christian Bale Batman.
meaningful to me. It has a lot of bearing. For statues,
Yeah.
if I were able to choose one, I'd probably go for the Samurai Batman by XM. It's
Mm,
because it goes back to my fascination with the Japanese culture,
I
and it's
see.
just nice to have like a version of Batman that has East and West, together,
Nice.
and it's like
Uh-huh.
a very good compromise between two
True.
things
Yeah.
that I love. No, I love comics which were based and done in the West Side, and at the same time, I love Japanese culture and everything history, and have that being represented through the East. No, so yeah.
Nice. Ang ganda. And kitang-kita yung passion, promise. I mean, sa figures pa lang din, just
Mhm.
the choice of the figures,
Mhm.
kita na bakit Batcave Files, kita na rin bakit ganito
Mhm.
yung belief mo sa Japanese culture and how you integrate it. Kitang-kita rin, and I admire that really. Sa totoo lang, it really is very rare that I encounter and I geek out na
Yeah,
dun
yeah.
sa ganito really,
Mhm.
with with what you showcased. I'm very overwhelmed personally, and I'm sure our audience members are as well. um na marami ka na inspire, sa totoo lang,
Mhm.
with what you have and how what you do with what you have.
Mhm.
It's not
Mhm.
just what you have, di ba? What you
Yeah,
do with
yeah.
what you have and what you
That's
can
true. That's
achieve,
true.
or to fuel that passion. It's
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
rare
That's true.
to materialize that thought in mind really, and you did. Sa totoo lang,
Mhm.
sana maraming makakapag-showcase ng kanilang
Mhm.
talents, and probably we can help them
Yeah, yeah.
in improve what they have, di ba?
Mhm.
uh, Sabi ni Chris Bags, long live S2 Toys,
Thank you.
isa sa
Thank
mga
you.
customers mo, I believe. And Christian, as the resident DC guy, in one word, describe Zack
Zack
Snyder's
Snyder's
Justice League
Justice League.
without spoilers. Okay.
Without spoilers, I'd say it's a redemption for DC. I wouldn't say that it's good enough, that
Uh-huh.
it can't be better. It definitely can be better, but
Yep.
at least as a DC fan,
Mhm.
I can be proud of something DC made. No, because I think that's how we are in general. Like Marvel fans are very proud of Marvel films, and they
Mhm.
have the right. They have all the
Yeah.
right to be
True naman.
to be proud of the MCU in general, even the
Yep.
ones that are even the ones that aren't as good to some
Mhm.
people. Like for example, Iron Man 3 might not be the definitive Iron Man for a lot of Iron Man fans, but still, as a whole, I want to generalize the whole MCU. Everything I feel like was done very well, and they definitely um, reinvented the wheel in a way. So for us that are
Mhm.
a fan of DC, we always want to be proud of something, even if it's a little bit, even if the origins are changed, even if
Mhm.
it's not exactly by the books, as long as it's something that entertains us and you feel like
Yan.
there was a lot of passion behind it. So that's how I feel for Zack Snyder's Justice League, because I wasn't really one of the biggest backers for Josh Whedon's Justice League. Not because it was Josh Whedon.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that he has the talent to do stuff. He
True.
did the first Avengers film, which was very good. But I feel like if someone asked me, could you recommend me a DC film, Justice League would probably be in the last in my list. But seeing
Talaga.
Zack Snyder's version, I feel like it's something I can be proud of and say that it gives me it gives me a reason to brag that I'm a DC fan.
Nice. And ihabol na natin. Thank you, Miss Marites, for
Yeah.
showing this to us. Eto na po. This is what you were
Yeah,
talking about, right?
that was the one I was talking about. The I had the Batman Returns poster and I had the shirt, and then but I didn't have black briefs or anything blue, so I just had to wear the white ones.
Yeah, actually. Ang galing. I mean, I felt that ginawa ng lahat ng tao to,
Yeah,
mostly.
definitely.
Yeah, yun nga eh. And nga eh, ang ganda lang din dahil what you already have, what
Mhm.
you were passionate about back then as a kid, translated well ngayon.
Yeah, yeah.
Ngayon that we're adults, ngayon that
Mhm.
you have the means
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fuel your passion more. Ang
Yeah,
ganda that we
that's
see
true.
the origins of the great collection that you have right now.
Yes.
Ang galing. Thank you po, ma'am, for showing this to us. Um, so cute. Sabi ni Shields Reed. Thank you so much for watching.
Mhm.
Now, yan, we see everything that you pour your heart into it.
Mhm.
Everything that you do actually nagta-translate yan in everything that you say sa totoo lang. Feel na
Mhm.
feel namin yon. And as someone who's really in geek about psychology, I see the passion in you and I see it is pure in what
Mhm.
you mentioned, what you already say. Here's
Mhm.
probably the last thing that we need that we're
Okay.
gonna leave with our audience members.
Mhm.
um I know you've already taught us a lot. You've
Mhm.
already given out a lot of tips, but for beginners, right? For
Mhm.
people who are starting out, can you
Okay.
give us a or parting tips, perhaps, to our beginners or beginning
Yeah.
collectors? Yeah.
Okay. I would probably say collect what means something to you. Don't necessarily collect because that's what other people are collecting. Because at the end of the day, what's important for you is that you bring home or you be able to collect something that you actually have a connection with, something that resonates with you. You can basically buy DC or Marvel Happy Meal toys and still mean something.
Mhm.
It's not restricted to price. You don't need the most expensive figure to show that you are a serious collector. What you really need is just passion. And that is for free. You don't need to spend anything on passion. And that speaks volumes more than having a lot of money and being able to buy everything that you can. You can have something that's less than somebody else, but if that person doesn't have any passion, somebody who has less will actually have more meaning in the end. No, so just buy something that means something to you, even if they say it's not the best version of Batman, even if they say that it doesn't look like the character or it's not as accurate as this expensive one. What matters is as long as you are satisfied and as long as you buy it from the heart and it's something that you are actually proud of, that's all that matters.
Very, very nice. And probably ihabol natin tong last
Mhm.
question.
Okay,
Medyo off
let's go.
topic but still relevant to at this
Okay.
time. Since may pandemic and we're mostly
Mhm.
stuck at home, how
Mhm.
important is it having a good bat cave?
How important? I feel like ito na yung time na people are starting to realize we really, really need to improve our quality of life at home because we've been so busy doing stuff outside. And I'm not saying forget about being able to go to the beach, forget about being able to hike and all those adventurous things, but also give yourself an opportunity to legitimately relax at home, not just being not your bed or your couch, but like having that opportunity to just sit back and enjoy. No, if you're a collector, maybe you should start a hobby by maybe if it's something you've been thinking about for a long time, maybe now's the time for you to start. You don't need to start big. Everybody starts small, and you don't need to rush because in this hobby nothing is really a race. You just take your time, and I feel like you would benefit a lot, especially if you have children. you it's such a great opportunity to be able to watch something. If you are a parent with your kids, it's another reason for you to bond. And I've had a lot of collector friends who have children, and at a young age they can already understand their parents' passion, and for the parents it feels nice for them to have something to relate to. Kasi like I'm not a parent, but I can definitely say that it's worrying to have that connection with a child, especially if you're an adult. You have other things to worry about, your bills, working, providing for the family and stuff like that, providing protection and the house, a roof under everyone's head. And it's just nice to have something that you can count on to have a quality time with your children. So for me, it's a nice reason to collect. And this has happened a lot. Like one of the magical things of having a store, and I wish everybody could experience this, is having a family walk in and the dad asking the son or the daughter the characters, and the daughter or the son being able to name each character, and just the father being so proud of the kids. It's gotten to a point where he's more proud of it than the children being able to name every country in the globe. So I feel like this is and that's what movies have done for us before the pandemic, and what streaming services are doing now is they're still providing us with a medium for us to convene in, for us to just spend time with each other. And I think if you don't watch these things with your children, it's definitely an opportunity that is going to pass you by fast, because kids grow up really fast. And it's nice that for a change there is a opportunity for us to like the same things, no? Parang definitely pag matanda ka naman, nanggaling ka rin naman sa pagiging bata, eh. So you know that. Pero a child cannot know what it's like being an adult kasi he never experienced it, 'di ba? So you have that middle ground very accessible to you. Don't waste it. Use that to your advantage and spend time with your
Nice.
children with that opportunity.
Very, very well said. Ang galing. Speechless. Hopefully, there
Mhm.
are adults that are watching and have listened to that, and I
Mhm.
know that you will, and you got inspired by that. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
I know all good things must come to an end. Thank you so much, Sir Dio,
Thank you, Ren. Thank you.
for enticing us and
Yeah.
giving us wisdom when it comes to this. I was just
Mhm.
thinking of being at all with your collection, but I really am at all with your passion. Not just your
Mhm.
collection, more than that, it's your passion and everything that you've said.
Mhm.
Well, I hope it translates sa mga nababurn out dyan. Wala kayong
Oo.
excuse.
Yeah,
Ang saya
yeah.
lang din.
Yes,
Dahil
yes.
hopefully, yun nga, hopefully maraming ano nito, maraming magre-rewatch nito. I'll share
I
this a
hope
lot.
so.
And sa mga nanonood, yes, please share the stream because you're gonna put um, the wisdom into, well, broadcast the wisdom that Sir Dio has given us. Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Chris. This is
yan.
one opportunity that I also appreciate. It's actually been a while
Uh,
since I have had an interview, so I was a little bit nervous because I was like,
right.
parang I was ngayon kasi I'm more of in a gaming mood, eh. And
Oo nga.
I don't really talk about my collection as much anymore, aside from like maybe adding a collector's edition of a game. Pero like for the actual hot toys and stuff like that, there hasn't been really any movement. So by this interview,
Oo.
it reminded me, no, by the questions and stuff, it reminded me why I like doing what I'm doing,
Nice.
and it really rekindled, no, my interest again, and just
Nice.
so it also helped me on your end. It also helped me.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And thank you rin kay Sir Rafi Panganiban for connecting us
Si
and
Rafi
making this
talaga.
possible. Thank you so much, Rafi. And Sir, what is next for the Ortigas?
Um, uh, right now
What's
I'm
upcoming?
just diving in
Okay.
more into gaming,
Uh-huh.
trying to more or less get back into the swing of gaming, because it's something that even though technically I've been gaming now for a year, 2 years, but having like the next gen stuff, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, it provides me with like a newer place to just see the possibilities of next gen stuff. No, so definitely still I'm still a collector deep down, and as soon as the new DC figures arrive, you can count on me actually finding ways also on how to showcase and take photos of the
Nice.
stuff from DC and all other things in general. Like I don't want people to generalize that I only like DC. I also like Marvel. I
Oh,
like
wow.
the stuff they've been doing. Yung nga sabi ko parang as a fan, it's nice to have both, not as competition but as
Yep.
something na parang something that you can watch for now and then watch the other one ulit. It's always
Okay.
nice to have variety, no?
Oo, minsan kontra umay pa nga, eh, 'di ba?
Oo,
Puro
totoo talaga. Like, Marvel is very lighthearted and I can't stay brooding forever with DCEU, 'di ba? Sometimes I want something that's something that I can put on the TV and I know I'm gonna enjoy, something that's not gonna make me think that much, no? And sometimes gusto ko ng madaming deconstruction ng character and layers to the
yun.
psyche, then I go to DC, 'di ba? And you
Nice.
lose nothing by having both. So,
Exactly,
win-win
'di
pa
ba?
rin.
Win-win pa rin, yan. So guys, I know that you guys or Sir Dio Ortigas has fueled or refueled your passion at this point. So thank you so much everyone for watching. This has been
Thank you.
Geek Clicks with yours truly, Chris Lina and yan pala, Sir Dio Ortigas. Napaka talented actually na interior designer, not just a toy collector or and well, he actually has an eye for this, and hopefully I have posted his pages, so connect with him on his social media that I posted on the, yeah, eto yung uh arcade page, which is the where you stream.
Yes,
The
yes.
S2 Collectibles is here. SS, no? Parang endgame na talaga yan, no?
Yeah, that's true.
Galing. So thank you so much. And again, see you guys next week for more geeky goodness. Or actually tomorrow pala, meron tayo. We're gonna talk about esports, Tekken, shoutcasting, and more. So stay tuned. And again, this is Christina with Sir Dio Ortigas. See you guys next tomorrow. Bye,
See you,
guys.
see you. Bye bye.